plug this in and check things out.
Spark devices.
Spark devices. Mute on. Am I unmuted now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Welcome to today's session on DIY mobile games, and this is something I really enjoy. Getting my hands dirty and trying to create something that other people can use, other people can learn from. And I figured before we get started and actually talking about mobile games, we should get in the mood to play. But we got to answer this question: why DIY? Do it yourself. What made you come to this particular session? What do you expect to get out of this? Any takers?
Sounds something cool that we can do hands-on.
Sounds like it's something cool. Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Just see what's out there, see what you can do? Mm-hmm. Well, truth is, why not? Because there are a lot of free tools out there that you can use to create your own mobile games for learning, or just messing around, or just learning how to do something big. Not just you could start from simple all the way to your own world. So what we're going to do a little warm-up. We're going to talk about some of the things that you can play right away from a mobile device or on a computer. So we're going to be playing a few things. Let's see if this fires up. Live slides. Come on. Have a backup.
Is that due to security issues that are keeping you from doing it?
Nah, I was able to do this earlier. How many of you have heard of Kahoot? We got one, got a couple of people. It's really easy to use, really easy to start a presentation, but you start a game, but you may not know that there are stuff that's already pre-built. As Kahoot has evolved from a simple response tool, you can go and search for different things to play, different things to check out. And if you haven't played Kahoot before, let's get you set up. Here you go. Here you go. You got yours?
Kahoot.it.
Yeah. Kahoot.it, yeah. Are you loaded?
Yeah.
All right. They do have an app for this. You could find it in the App Store. But I'm logged into my Kahoot account, and I'm able to search for different games, different things to play. And one of these is a riddle game. could challenge people. I can hit play, and then we can start playing this game. So what's going to happen is we're going to play player versus player. There's 5 of us in here, so I haven't played this yet, so this is going to be good. Very easy to start a Kahoot. Either build one or find one that you can use. This one is good for get-togethers, icebreakers. But you go to this website, kahoot.it, and then enter the code 8878010. Okay, we've got 2. 3.
Is Cat your real name, or do you just like Cat?
I'm Catherine. I go by Cat. I believe in transparency. My students will name themselves, symbols and stuff. I know what you want, so I can help you. But whatever.
Well, that's my real name.
So as we add people, we can bring them in, or if someone's adding that weird name that you don't like, you can boot them out just by clicking their name. So if someone's being really offensive or just you can't read the symbols, you can boot them out and have them log back in. All right, there we are. So what's going to happen is it's going to ask us a question, and on your device, it's going to give you a selection of different buttons. If you think the answer is this red triangle, you hit the red triangle. Warm for blue, green for Nell, or yellow for cat. I did not read the question. Incorrect.
Oh no!
Okay. I thought it was a cat. I was thinking lion. So this is a good way to get people energized. Yes.
So the point is that how quickly they answer, they get more points.
They get more points. Just think, stay there and think. You won't get high up on the leaderboard. Mm-hmm. Watch out, cat is fearless. What is as fast as a cheetah, as slow as a turtle, and can transform into any shape? We got 10 seconds remaining. You hear that tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. We got one person who hasn't submitted their answer. 3, 2, 1. Oh, nice. What belongs to you? But others use it more than you. I have no clue. All right. What is it, name? What is brown and sticky? I should have vetted this before I started playing, but I wanted to be surprised just as you all. Mm-hmm. A stick.
Oh. Sticky, all funny.
What asks but never answers?
Cat's reflexes are so
Oh,
Oh.
2 correct answers.
And someone's hopped on. Who is the 7th? Top 5 right here.
Can't forget.
All right, one more question. We could play this for the entire day if we wanted to. What two things can you never eat for breakfast?
Oh. Could we hit multiple?
No, just one. But there's probably two right answers for this one. I'm curious, who chose snow? Because I'm the one that chose a blanket.
You can eat snow, but just don't eat all snow.
All right, so kind of in the mindset to play around.
So is this cumulative scores that?
Yep.
Oh.
As you play, the higher up you can get. We got someone from the online audience. Hey, we'll do one more for the online person. All right, that's for you. Next one more question. What can taste better than it can smell?
Oh,
Yep, and you only get one shot.
Yep. When there's points attached. If there's no points attached, you can change your mind.
Yeah, that sounds right. If there's points involved, you only get one shot. If there's not, then... All right, tongue. Nice. All right, so I'm going to hop out of here, and we're going to go to the next one. See, that was the demo.
So is it that when you make a game, you're given like a pin number for that game?
To create a Kahoot, you're given, you have to go to Kahoot.com. It's different than the one that we checked into. Kahoot IT is the one where you can go on, play the game. Kahoot.com is where you can set up an account, create your game, and create different things like, is it a multiple choice, right and wrong? How many points is it? How long is it? This one's another fun one. Yes, I want to leave the page. This one's called GeoGuessr, and it's a free game, but you can also log in, create an account, and pay for it to get rid of these ads on the bottom. But this one is sort of like you're trapped in a box and you wake up in the middle of nowhere and you have to figure out where you're at. So you can look around and see, okay, can I zoom in there maybe? Let's see, any license plates, numbers? Sablagauget. Sounds French, and I can't read the sign here. So you would, maybe, but it's a Chevy truck.
That again?
you can walk around, right?
Yep.
Or can you only look around?
You can look around. This uses Google Maps.
So does the map reflect anything, or is that map just there?
It's
Just there?
in the lower right-hand corner. Does the map reflect anything? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't show where it's at, but when you're ready to make your guess, you could drop a pin as to where you think you are. And like I was saying earlier, Google Maps, you could use the forward and backward button.
Is this a website?
This is a website.
Not an app. Should we go there?
No, you can. Right now, we're just guessing. Come join me and try to figure out where we're at.
Canada. French.
Oh, yeah.
But I know about the area code. We don't have that form.
Yeah, that looks like
But it has a TEL with a slash above the E.
we could be in like Quebec.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of American cars there too. So why don't we make our guess towards Canada? Let's zoom in. Montreal, Quebec. I'm going to go right here. That okay with people near this area?
Yeah.
Then right there.
Just when pointing it.
Just when the
Yep.
screen size stuff.
All right, let me make sure I'm all plugged in. Am I still online? Okay. Okay, let's try this one more time. What happened? All right, so I marked it around this area. I'm going to click the button that says Make Guess. And it's going to tell us, nah, I don't want to sign up or log in or pay for this. But I'm going to skip the ad and continue the game. We were very close. We're within 300 kilometers or 200 miles of where it was located. And you can keep playing this for a long time. Hey, New Mexico. No. That looks like home. Yeah, it totally drops you off in the most random places.
Is that where you're from, is New Mexico?
I am from New Mexico, yes. So that.
I gotta talk to you.
Oh, you can't like zoom in there. That's kind of your mouse pointer, but you can move forward with this little, yeah. So you can keep cruising along this road to try to figure out where you're at. Great game, play along. Educational value, trying to learn how to use your resources, look at different clues, be observant. And lastly, for something that's quick and easy, there's something called Jeopardy Labs.
I love
Yes. I did not create a Jeopardy game, but they do have a demo here. Find a Jeopardy game. And you can search for anything. So let's search for science. And hopefully I spelled that right. Yes. Now, if you can build your own, you can use some of the things that other people have built. Like, I should have chose something else. Plate tectonics.
Cool.
Uh-huh. Plate tectonics, you can have multiple teams. I'm just going to have one for now, but you can have more teams in here. You can say, hey, Alex, I want science for 100. Deep ocean trench.
Oh. So this.
We got an abyss. Tectonic plate, I think. So you can hit the spacebar to see. Oceanic crust returns to the mantle here. So this was obviously built for someone who's studying tectonic plates. What was this one? Yeah. Younger. Yeah, you're better off building your own. What is that? This is someone's study guide, so let's hop out of here, yeah. But it's very easy to use this to build your own Jeopardy board, very easy to implement it. All right, now we're going to get into more of the fun stuff. Yesterday during the keynote, the speaker had made comment about a couple of different text adventure apps. This one is one of them. Who here remembers Choose Your Own Adventure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zork. All right, my people. So what this does, this can allow you to create that kind of text-based adventure where it goes up, it was a dark and stormy night. And that's a bad way to open a game. That's a bad way to open a novel. But you can do that. You can start up, okay, you're here. There's a space vampire after you. What do? Hop in your spaceship, or do you go back to the moon base? That was actually one of my favorite Choose Your Own Adventure storylines. With this, you can use it online. You could download a version for Windows and Mac, so you don't have to be online to develop your tool. You can download and install and check it out. Now, we're not going to go too much into how to actually create this, but there's a lot of storyboarding involved when you go into this more in-depth creation of a game. What we were playing with were very simple games where yes, no answers, we're dropped in the middle of nowhere. we were the subject matter experts. We could create our own Jeopardy game. Everyone knows how to play that. With these tools, you have the ability to really, really dive deep into some content. So right here we have the start. Call me Ishmael some years ago, never mind. And then you got a couple of choices to make. Do you think the Archangel Gabriel, blah, 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 this is your insular city, blah, blah, blah. And once you make that choice, what happens next? And what happens next? So you got a series of choices that you got to start building off to make this game flow. Twine is a freeware game. It's open source, meaning if you do decide to use it, the content is yours to use. If you decide to sell it, there's no one holding you back saying that you can't sell it. So we're going to add a quick story. Tech Academy 2018. Click add. And then we can create a passage. Now we can edit this. Hello. Then we can move this around like a big ol' map with a bunch of Post-its.
Does this allow you to do conditional branching?
Yep. Hello. There. Close this out. But because the focus is on text, there's not a lot more that you can do. You can create a nice storyline. You can create dialogue between different characters. As much as I hate that line, I really love it. It was a dark and stormy night. And then you can have your person start here. And then once they're done, you can link it between one place and another. So that after they get done here, it could get linked there, and that's how you can start building your story.
So the conditional thing is that you can set a flag, so you come up to a choice type of thing, and let's say you've already found something, that you have something to allow you to do it, then it gives you a different set of choices.
Yep.
Can it remember choices that you've made in the past? Like, let's say that you have a story where you're doing different decisions, and then, like, if you had picked up the rock, then you'd be able to do something else. Will it remember that? Is there any kind of database attached?
The question is, does it remember what it is that you've done in the past in the game? And the answer, I believe, is yes. And the reason why I say that is because as the game maker, the example was picked up a rock. And from there you can defeat the giant, win, lose, make tools, pet it. So as long as you got the rock, and then from there you got different storylines that occur from it because you have the rock, then yes, it does remember that you have the rock because you've already established this. But for some reason, somewhere along the line you forget the rock, then you can find it again. That kind of makes sense?
So does that store the flag on the website or locally where you're typing?
On the website, and then as you play it, it will be either on the web or wherever you downloaded it to.
So whoever wants it gets their own account that they're putting the flag sets
they should be not their own account, but they should be able to view it and interact with it. And so it should remember where you've last been as you step away from the game and come back to it.
Because sometimes they'll do that locally, because like if you change a web page, if you don't store it locally temporarily or store it somewhere temporarily, when you move to a new page, that data doesn't magically transfer by itself. You have to have an intermediate place to store it.
You're going to love this, not this tool, but the last tool I'm going to talk about. Because the question is, for those of you listening online, does it remember online or to your device the pros and cons of that? If it's online, it could be played anywhere, but the con is that it might lose your data, might not be able to save it. Whereas if you had the app, the game, and it's saved to your device, there's a better chance of all your data being saved to that device. If you're interested in text-based adventures, another one is called Quest, where you can build your own online game. And it's the same kind of setup. It's free to use. It's free to create. It's free to share. If you decide to sell it, you can sell it. See, they had some good examples now. Spotify Play. Here we go. So if you want to see what this thing can do, this seems to have more of a support group than Twine. Twine is kind of hard to find support. At least that's what I've noticed in the past. Whereas this, they've been more open. Hey, this is how a game looks like when it's done. You can play in different... There we go. Come on, load up. Play online. So this is a mystery. You put a quarter in the slot and dial Rosalita's number. The phone rings a couple of times, but there's nothing to do but wait. If you're playing the Color for Truth for the first time, we strongly encourage to type about. And then it gives you the commands that you can do next. For credits, for hints, make it more interactive so that you can, in this one, you can type in flashback and the person would get a flashback. You can have other people speak by typing speech. There's a phone booth, and credits, I assume, is for the phone booth. Commands. So this is a straight up text-based adventure. I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole because that looks very interesting, and I'm here presenting and I shouldn't be really playing too much. So, this one we featured at Tech Academy last year, so you may remember it. Goose Chase. It's a scavenger hunt game. Really easy to play. The text-based ones, those work best with a storyline, but sometimes you only have an hour. You want to get a group involved. Maybe you are doing a field trip downtown at the Museum of Modern Art. So you could develop a scavenger hunt requiring people to go to certain pieces, type about what they experienced, take pictures of certain things. Oops, my games. There we go. What's different from the last time I presented this is that Goose Chase has come out with more educational tools for teachers. You can go in and copy games that have already been created. So if you're a social studies teacher, you don't know how to implement it inside your class, it gives you examples so you can copy and tweak it to your own. If you have a particular game that you like to play, you could copy it and keep reusing it, such as this one. You set up a game, and then you set up your missions. A mission is what a person has to find. Some of them are taking pictures or videos. Some of them are entering text. Some of them are GPS required, meaning you have to be within the vicinity of a GPS marker in order for that to count. This one, check in at Madison College. Let's go ahead and edit this. And let's go ahead and take a look at this. We have a little, as a game creator, I created a little GPS dot here, and you have to be within this circle in order to get these points for this scavenger hunt. I can make it as tight or as wide, up to 5 kilometers in radius. So anybody inside of the circle, and if they're hanging out at the mall, or I don't know what else is here. I know there's a McDonald's, Burger King down that way. They check in from there, they would be able to get points for that. About a kilometer seems like it would be a good match for us. You could adjust the value of the points for each question. 400, 500, 600, 750, 1,000. You can make something really insane and have that 2,000 points. You can set it up so that teams can play, groups, maybe departments versus departments in a scavenger hunt, or individual people. And you could choose how long you want the game to last. This one's going on for a day, so if you wanted to play it, you can go into the Goose Chase app and look up MATC. Or Tech Academy and enter, I'm going to take off the password, you can password protect it. But you can go into the Goose Chase app, look up MATC or Tech Academy, and find it there. I got my cord in, so what made the text-based games mobile device friendly is that they're text. You could bring them up on a website and you'll be able to interact with them. Now we're going into the realm of using apps and using mobile devices. Hello, everybody. Oh, it's not reading my iPad. That's not cool. All right, bye everybody. Let's see if I can pull this up here. I am sorry. I was hoping to bring up a demo of Goose Chase on my computer, but I'm not able to do that just yet. If you're thinking about using this for a class or professional development, Goose Chase does provide templates through a game library. And from there, you can go in and check out the different games, different things that are available for you to transfer into your own account. You get to preview them, see if they're good to go. Like this one, Wheelbarrow Fun, it gives you details as to what you can do. Like Wheelbarrow Fun, try to get someone to do a wheelbarrow with you. Oh, you look like you know what you're. So this one's more of the professional development side. If you were out in nature, take a picture of some dirt, of a bug. These all tie into the different subjects that you can do. Now let's get a little crazy. Here in Madison, there's a company that's based out of the UW. It's called Field Day, and they provide a lot of apps for you to make different things. Guidebooks, collaborative spaces, but this one called Aries, A-R-I-S, allows you to create your own game. Go ahead and click Allow. And I was here 30 minutes before this presentation setting up my game because it is fairly easy to use, fairly easy to create those branching paths. And we had a question earlier, what happens if you picked up something like a rock? Would the game remember it? This gives you more options to do stuff with that rock. Not only give it to someone, use it, forget it, lose it, regain it. It opens up a whole world of possibility. This is a free tool, and there's an accompanying app that allows you to play it on your iPhone or iOS, iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, or Android devices. So then we go here. Before we dive into Aries, I want to show you that they do have a manual. If you're more of a paper learner, you like to read things, have that physical paper, you can access that. You can print these out. You can read them here. Let me go back. If you're into video, they do have a lot in terms of video. What is this tool that you're using? How do you set it up? How do you create a game? How do you set up a simple conversation? How do you include locations? And what's very cool about this tool is that not only can you do things text-based, not only can you include videos, but you can also include augmented reality segments. And that's what I'm trying to learn here. I wasn't able to get that down so I could give a demonstration, but that's something that was really cool to find out. And with this tool, they do have a lot of support from the end users. They do have forums that you can go and ask questions. Yeah, we got a question.
For Aries and Winery and Text Adventures, can you see the code that they use to create the game you're playing?
The question is, can you see the code that to see the code behind the game?
Yeah.
That I'm not sure. Because it's open source, my inclination is to say yes, that you can. I'm a really good end user, but a coder I am not. So I wouldn't be able to tell you how you could break that.
Well, I mean, like, you know how you have the diagram. Would you be able to see their diagram after you're done playing?
This diagram, like the player, or?
Yeah, that one, like that.
Okay.
Would you be able to see that after you're done playing one of the games playing someone else's game?
Oh, no, you won't be able to see the diagram. The question is, after you complete the game, can you see what they did to accomplish that? And the answer is no, but you can share your template with other people. So if you do find a game that you really like, you can ask for them to share it with you so that you can have a copy of it. Let me go back here. Now, as it starts off, it starts you out with, I call this a sticky note, the starting scene sticky note. And inside you could put in your notes. You could put in an introduction where characters talk. You could put in media. You could put in a location as to where you can start. And then from there, you could branch out into, okay, what's next? This is a fun tool, but it's also a little bit, it's easy, but it's also a little bit complicated So you should, one of the things that you should do with this game development tool or any game development tool is to storyboard. Around us, we got these pink, hot pink Post-its. I love using Post-its. I love my technology, but I always go back to the Post-it to say, okay, here's my start, begin, yes, no, just start planning it out before I actually get to the tool. Because if I go to the tool first and try to build this, I get lost. And chances are a lot of people will get lost just because they're trying to learn the tool, use the tool, but they have no guidance as to where they want to take that tool. Were you here when I mentioned the support for this particular program, Eris?
No.
No? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Manuals, videos, and forums. So pretty good. And they're based locally here in Madison through the UW. So I have my intro here. I can place this so that it's available anywhere or that you have to be at a specific location for this to trigger. So if I'm away, let's say I'm playing this game in Texas, but I want to get the Madison experience, I can pinpoint all these little locations in Madison. They can click on it and get more information about that particular place. But that information has to be provided by the game master, the person who created the game. If I was in Texas and I wanted to play this, but it's available anywhere box was unchecked, I would have no way of accessing it unless I flew here and went to the exact location as to where this was stored, or where this was. So I have my next here. And with game tools, there's a language. It's usually if, and, or statements. If this has been completed, this happens. If this hasn't been completed, this happens. If this or this has been completed, you have these options. So there's something called a locks editor, and that gives you that if, and, or statement. If the player has already exited the intro conversation, where do they go to next? Or player has leads, has already, has not, has, group has. You can assign individual players. You can do a group. World behavior affects the overall game. I'm going to click save on this. Add triggers. So a trigger is something that will happen once something is completed, or something that will become part of the main sticky note. The main sticky note is also known as a scene inside of Aries. I created a couple of conversations, an intro, a public safety, but I could also include a new conversation. Test convo. Have my test convo here. When I click on test convo, I can add more details, I can add an icon, and I can also go to the script editor, which allows me to start my conversation. When I click start, it pops up this button, and then I get to choose who is speaking. You can create different characters, you being the person who's playing the game, or the different people who are involved in your game. I'm going to add Bob to this. Bob. Bob. So as the speaker, there we hit cancel. Go back to Bob. Sorry. This starts out the conversation. Hello, are you Bob? And then I could take it two ways. This arrow will allow me to set up a yes or no. This arrow down here will allow me to set up the conversation. Continue. I'm going to change this to yes, I am. No, I'm not. And then I could change the speaker. Let me hit save here. Change the speaker to Bob. Okay, Bob's not loaded, so let's go to Game Master. I'm Bob. No, I'm not. Change that speaker to Game Master, who's one of my characters, and say, no, I'm not. Then at the end of that conversation, you can say goodbye, okay, sorry to disturb you. And then from there, you can end the conversation or go to different places, such as a web page, a video, or a particular location on your map. There's a lot of options that you can do with this. There's a lot that you can do with this. And once you're done, you can share this with other people. You can go into settings, give a description, say where it's located. This can be played anywhere. And you're given a QR code to launch the game. Now, I handed out some iPods earlier. On those iPods, they have the Eris app already built in. It's a little white square with a triangle inside of it. Code and point it to the screen, it should activate your camera to take a picture of yourself, because you're the character in the game. It allows you to add your name to it, and it should open up in the game. And then hit save. And once you're there, you can zoom out. Let me hold this up. And then I have my intro here. You tap that red square that's located in downtown Madison. And then tap the view button. It should start playing back the intro. Now, 30 minutes is probably not the best time to set this up, but I was able to find a place for it. I was able to set up a conversation, and I was able to get things rolling with this. If you had a lot more time, you could definitely polish this up a lot more.
I didn't get the code.
How's that? You're welcome.
This code doesn't mean anything right now.
What? Yeah, try going closer. able to see what I wanted to do, but not a whole lot more. Mm-hmm. All right, so then we go back to your scenes. You can make this as simple as you want or as complicated as you want.
Is that normal for it to say like continue?
No, that's totally my bad. If you're playing at home, it says continue.
The different options.
Yes. Instead of continue, it should say, no, I'm not here, I'm not ready, or yes, I'm ready. And it'll give you instructions on how to move on. At Tech Academy, we introduce QR codes to check in and out of our sessions. You can do a QR code scavenger hunt and place these QR codes across different areas in the building, across town, and then people have to scan them, and that's how they play the game. Mm-hmm. You can have augmented reality bits where instead of a QR code, maybe they scan a picture. And then from that picture, they're given more information. You can go to a particular site, and once you're there, you can have a movie pop up. It knows that you're there, have a movie pop up, play back that movie, and get more information about that area, or have more information about that area, or move further along in the game.
So all I'm seeing is,
Yeah.
I click downtown, I'll see a picture of you
Mm-hmm.
saying that does it look like you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
not much else is happening. Is that at this point?
yeah, that's
We should expect to see.
because I only had 30 minutes to see what I can do in that time. Yeah.
Okay.
I got confused in my yes/no statements. If
Okay.
yes, this happens, then it should do this. If no, then this should happen.
Yeah, because I just see like how long.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Continue.
But
It seems to change because sometimes it's like one continue, and
mm-hmm.
sometimes it's two continues, sometimes it's three continues. Okay.
Yeah, and those continues should have been. Let me pull up Safari. Whoops, not play, make. If you really want to dive deep into this, they do offer professional development opportunities in forms of day-long workshops. They're $100. You can register for them. The last one for registration just passed, like last week. What you should have seen was, instead of continue, you should have said yes, no to these particular conversations and not just continue. There's a bug for those of you who are watching online in the game where every option is continue. It hasn't updated to the server yet and brought back down to the game. A lot of content, or this one's a really big tool. It's fairly easy to use, difficult to master, kind of like chess or checkers. But yeah, that's it. Do you have any questions or would like some advice?
Are you going to send a link out with all the things we talked about today?
Yep. And if you scanned in, I'll have your info so I know who to send it to.
My card.
Yeah, I know who you are, David. You're not that David. You're the other David. All right. Unless there's